Hello, I'm Elena Jordan, and you are watching AfterBuzz TV's Mini Spotlight On with Brooke Lewis from Half New Year. Stay tuned.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, Buzz.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Mini Spotlight On. I'm your host, Elena Jordan, and today I am thrilled to be joined by the incomparable Brooke Lewis. Now, I have loved you for years for all of your work as a scream queen, but your movie now, Half New Year, you are so funny and so good. I heard that they actually wrote this role, Pam, specifically for you. Is that true?
Elena, you're amazing. You know, everybody who knows me, you know you're going to make me cry because you know I'm a big mush ball, even though I'm a scream queen at heart. But thank you so much for the compliments. You're amazing, and I'm excited to be here with you. So they did. Drew McInerney, who is like my real life and on-screen little brother, who is another Philly native. He wrote the script originally titled Half New Year, and then Georgia Menides co-wrote it, came in, produced it with him, and Drew wrote this film for himself to star in, to create a role for him in Hollywood. And he wrote Pam DeLuca, his older sister, who's really, I mean, we bicker like brother and sister anyway, for me, which is such a gift from the universe to have any role as an actor written specifically for you. It's been a blessing, and we did table read after table read. It went through directors and producers, and then Georgia Menides produced it. Tom Morash came in, directed the heck out of it, and here we are. And thank you so much. It's incredible and on demand everywhere, everybody.
Yes. I watched it on Amazon Video. Just shout out. It's so good, so funny. Oh my gosh, it makes sense that this was written specifically for you, because I can't even imagine anybody else playing this role. It was so perfect. Were there any moments on set, though, that didn't necessarily make it onto camera that were extra hilarious, in your opinion?
You know what? Actually, everything, especially humbly, I say this in my scenes, everything made it. I mean, but there are definite bloopers. For example, and I don't want to spoiler alert too much, but you've seen it now. So the shower scene with Marty and I, and Drew, who plays Reed, my brother. So little Marty, Jermaine Alvarez Martin, I'll shout out. We are in the shower scene, and there is an accident, we'll say, that happens, that Reed is going to the bathroom. So I'm going to leave it at that, but it was comical how many times we really literally ended up having like one legit take of the effect, the gag effect, hysterical. So there's bloopers all over the place, and it kind of shows on screen, but what a great opportunity.
I love too that you mentioned that Drew wrote this movie to create a role for him, because that is something that you have been doing for years and years. Miss Vampy. Your alter ego. So funny. I think of her almost of like a mobster Elvira, kind of.
You nailed it, girl. That's exactly how it was intended. Elvira was one of my icons growing up. Same thing with Mona from My Cousin Vinny, and the nanny, Fran Drescher. I mean, so, I think if I can share with the viewers, if you're an actor, actress, anywhere in the world, you have a niche, and you want to stick with it at times because you want to show your best. And so I've always sort of veered toward those fun, crazy character roles that I love and that hopefully inspire others.
Oh, definitely. You are a gilded scream queen, from going all the way back to Slime City Massacre. Just crushing it. Is that your favorite genre, though? Because this is such a different role, and you absolutely kill this one, no pun intended.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's funny. I grew up in the 80s, right? So I was such an 80s girl, obsessed with like the late 70s, 80s. Once we got like the VHS, VCR, right? All the OGs out there watching. Like once that happened, I was watching films and horror films. Like I truly was obsessed with vampires and loved all those horror films like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the original Prom Night, the original Halloween, right? Like Jamie Lee Curtis and Adrienne Barbeau and all the greats. So did I ever dream I would wake up one day and be a scream queen? Never in a million years. But I embraced it when it happened. It happened actually when I got the opportunity to star in, ready for this one, everyone, Kinky Killers. That's what happens when you do a
On
film.
Showtime.
On Showtime, you nailed it, which I'm so blessed and grateful for. Opposite the late Charles Durning from Dog Day Afternoon and Tootsie, Michael Pare, my darling, from Eddie and the Cruisers back in the day. So it just kind of happened and took on a life of its own, and I embraced it. But I love the mobster movies. Like, my dream is to be Edie Falco on Sopranos or Lorraine Bracco on Sopranos, right? So that would be really my ideal.
Oh, I could definitely see you playing a role like that.
Thank you.
And kind of talking about Scream Queens, you worked with another Scream Queen recently from Children of the Corn, Courtney Gaines.
Courtney Gaines, one of my best friends, such a talented actor. It's insane. We actually met through the horror genre about 13 years ago now and have stayed like this ever since. He is so talented and such a dear, dear friend. So shout out to Courtney and Karen. And yeah, we were blessed to work together with Marcus Redman on Alan and Millie, which Alan and Millie, a short romance, let me do the full title, which crushed the film festival circuit, but not just horror, really mainstream as well. And again, another great project. I've been so blessed. And, you know, I always joke with Kat's PR, I go, I'm a humble C-list celebrity. And I mean it in the greatest sense of the word. Like, I'm so grateful for every opportunity I have had, and I have had many from New York to LA over the last 20 years.
I mean, 100%. You have been killing it. This movie, though, I really want to talk about because it is so good, so funny. Pamela from South Philly. You're actually from South Philly, though, right?
I am born and raised born in South Philly, grew up in the suburbs of Philly. And I hope I don't have that strong of an accent left. I've worked really hard, you guys, to get rid of this as an actress. But I mean, she's like, you know, when are you going home? And I'm right. Like, any Philly, Jersey people out there, you know, and it's whenever I call my family back east or my best friends back east, and they're like, when are you coming home? We're going to go down the shore and we're going to eat hoagies. Right? So there you have it.
Did you call anybody back home for inspiration for the role? If you were ever feeling like you were losing the accent, was there a specific person that you were like, I need to call my actual family so that I can portray with my fake family on screen?
You know, honestly, Lena, like, that's what I think a good actor does, is it's method, right? So I kind of like brought myself, like, sense memory back to my teenage years. No joke, everyone. Anyone who knows me, I love you all, back in Philly and Jersey and New York. I drove my red Camaro. No joke, had the hair in the scrunchie. It was fabulous. And so I modeled her after my family and friends that I grew up with, and really how I was when we were going down the Jersey Shore.
I love, too, that she is kind of the hot mess of the group, which is perfect for somebody who is a professional hot mess, a coach for professional hot messes. Tell me a little bit about your book and also how it pertains to your clothing line as well.
Oh, you're awesome. She's so on it, you guys. I love this girl. Okay, thank you so much. So I authored a book, and it is titled Coaching from a Professed Hot Mess. So my whole, you know, I always say, like, God, higher power, whatever you believe in, laughs when we're making plans. And it's so true. And so, like, how you get from point A to point B to point C, you never know. I just know that my entire crazy career has all kind of like been tethered together in banana ways. So my book I authored when I was doing a lot of life coaching work, dating expert work. I was doing some unscripted television for the years, you know, and anytime I was a single woman up until I met my wonderful husband, Mark. And so anything I needed to do to support myself as a single woman in a very expensive city here in Hollywood, I chose to work extra hard to make it happen. So then the book did well. It won a ton of awards. Again, I say that humbly, which led into me getting branded with Metal Babe Mayhem. Hello, Allison Metal Babe Cohen, my darling. And that was such a gift. And we have a clothing line, Rock Your Hot Mess, because we got to own it. Ladies, guys too. We got to own our hot mess. We got to be proud of it. We are all perfectly imperfect, just the way we are.
And speaking of your husband, we know that we've got to see you on television actually meeting your designer for your wedding dress as well. And now you're designing bridal wear as well, right? Hasn't it expanded into...
Kind of, yes. So I was so blessed to Imbal Drawer. Hello, Imbal Drawer. I mean, how many brides in a lifetime get to meet their designer and get to spend time with her in Beverly Hills? It was a absolute gift. That being said, Metal Babe Mayhem and I decided, you know what? We want to do something fun for brides and bachelorettes. So we designed, in conjunction with my wedding this year, was brides and bachelorettes Rock Your Hot Mess. So we have these incredible shirts to wear for everybody to take to Vegas when you go on your bachelorette party as well.
Love
Yes.
I love
you.
the idea of unifying just awesome women together because you are such an inspiring woman as well. You've won so many awards, too, for being such an inspiring woman. You inspire me constantly. I feel like I need to get on my grind when I'm talking to you here.
I love you even more. You're amazing.
But I know that you also have a new project coming up that may not even be announced. Is this an AfterBuzz exclusive here?
Okay, you're going to get a mini exclusive. Quickly, I'm going to shout out to a couple projects. I start filming next week, if I may. Stacey Lane Wilson, who directed me in Psychotherapy, she writes me some of the most amazing roles, is directing another film titled The Second Age of Aquarius. I am playing, so not a lot of people know this yet. We had one announcement this week. I'm playing Tawny Stevens, an 80s rocker mom from Jersey. You see the theme here, right, Elena and audience? You see the crazy theme. It is such a fun role. I'm so excited. Stacey Lane Wilson wrote it with Darren Gordon-Smith, and shout out to our team. I'm also one of the executive producers because I know that this project is going to be something amazing. So this is one. So shout out everyone, Nancy Long, and there's so many people involved in this. I'm so excited to be a part of it. So I'm filming that all next week. And then the biggie, which is going to come off the tails of a re-release of The Morning, which I acted in years ago, that Mark Klebanoff directed. He's my darling as well. You see the theme too, guys, with, it is about relationships in Hollywood. And I'm so fortunate to be involved with the most amazing people. So shouting out to The Morning that Michael Walton starred in, Dominique Swain, Louis Mandylor. The cast is incredible, goes on and on. We're re-releasing that very shortly. And in conjunction with that, we are leaving to go to Nevada for the month of December to shoot a TV pilot titled Stripped. Stripped, Mark Klebanoff wrote with the late Christoph St. John. They created this, Mark wrote it, and it is in memoriam for Christoph St. John. I'm going to get emotional now because it's something that is so special that I jumped on to. They wrote me a role. I jumped on to act in this as Jules, the publicist to the star of the film. We have another dear friend and partner of ours who's producing it with us, Frank Kruger. We have Essie Perry and an incredible team. Again, a lot of the morning team. I don't want to say too much, but I was doing my due diligence and we talked about this off camera, and Moby had shouted out, and your crazy team here at AfterBuzz went nuts and said he's one of our favorite actors. We just signed on to play Chris Cameron and the Casper Van Dien. So shout out to Casper Van Dien. We're so excited to have you. We're going up to Reno, Nevada to shoot, and there's a lot more cast involved that I won't shout out to just yet, but it's super exciting, and I love my role, and I'm a series regular on this pilot, and I just cannot wait to work with Mark Klebanoff again and our crew. Really talented, artistic bunch of people.
I'm so excited for this. This sounds amazing.
So excited.
Cannot wait. Oh, I want this to be on my screens now. I want to watch it now. It sounds amazing.
It's great. We'll have to come back and bring the whole cast and crew next year once we wrap.
Yes, please do. Please do.
Thank you.
And you also mentioned you are no stranger to AfterBuzz as well.
This is like my second home, guys.
We love having you here.
Hello, thank you. Oh my gosh, from Book Circle with James Locke. Oh my God, he's the best. And I did American Horror Story back in the day.
This is the one I want to ask you about because right now I'm doing the American Horror Story after show for 1984, and you mentioned about Tawny being this, 80s superstar here. I feel like you would fit in this season of American Horror Story so well. Have you been watching this season?
Love. Hello, Ryan Murphy. I am just waiting. I'm here waiting for you. It is so good. And that's what's hot right now, right, everybody? The throwback, the 80s, the Stranger Things to American Horror Story 1984. Love it. We watch it diligently.
If you could be any character in American Horror Story 1984, who would you be?
Oh my gosh. Well, hello. I mean, Brooke was named after me, right? But no, she's too sweet and innocent. I need like a more raw role, right? Like one of the killer. I gotta be a killer. I gotta be. I've never been killed in a horror film. Do you know that?
Whoa! I didn't realize that.
Is that crazy? I'm one of the few, I think, scream queens who has never been killed. I'm always the killer, the FBI agent, the detective, the psychiatrist.
You're right. I didn't even pick up on that.
Yep.
Oh, see,
crazy, right?
You're a true scream queen.
Yep.
That's a feat in itself, I think.
And that's part of the beauty of being given the opportunity to produce for, projects for yourself, or like I say, I always, sort of collaborate with bigger production companies and big directors and stuff so that I have that opportunity to create acting roles for myself that I would not have otherwise.
And you're also just such an incredible person that people just like being near you, I think. I mean, you're not only ridiculously talented, you're just such a delight to be around.
You're going to ask my husband, and he will tell you that is not true at home. He'll say most of the time I'm great, but I have my moments. I have my scream queen moments. I had a meltdown this morning, you guys. Thank you so much. Like I said, I'm a hot mess. I know my flaws. I know my strengths. I know my weaknesses, and I try to be integrous about everything.
Now, part of what makes you so inspiring, though, is because you talk about these collaborations and how you're working with people, and you're always giving credit to other people. Always.
Absolutely. In fact, today I had another big meeting with Joshua Butler, another darling of mine who's brilliant, who directed Vampire Diaries, Secret Circle, Big TV. And we have a secret project we'll shout out next year. But we were just talking about that too.
Shout out here first.
Yeah, we will. We'll come back and do that. But the collaborations, and I got to shout out too to Allison Noel, my fab glam squad, my hair and makeup. She did me for the show. It is not about me. It is about everyone else. It's about the product, the bigger picture. It is never about, my reps. I mean, Katz PR, thank you for having me here today. Bohemia Management, Eris Talent, Larry Corsa, my agent. I've been with my agent, Larry, for probably 15 years since I've been in LA. So it is about the end game, the end goal, the big picture. And I really, truly believe by giving back, and, I do a ton of charity work, shout out to Breaking the Chains Foundation, that it will in some way come back to me, and it usually does. And I get frustrated like everybody else. This is no easy game. It's no easy town. This industry can make you, and has made me crazy, right? But you do it because you love it, and you follow your dreams, and you stick with your passions, and you choose, and you sacrifice, and you commit.
Everything you say is just so inspirational. I'm just so taken aback by I'm like processing everything because it's so brilliant. But if you could give any direct advice to people who are looking to break into the industry, whether behind the scenes or on camera, but may feel a little hesitant or may feel like it's too big of an obstacle, do you have any advice to them about kind of overcoming those personal hurdles?
Okay, so the first bit of advice I would give to, let's say, like a young actor who is looking up to us right now is, number one, you are in the best day, age, and era to do it, to follow your dreams, because it's happening everywhere now. It's happening digitally. You can self-tape from Alaska to New Mexico. It used to be back in the day when I started 20 years ago doing Tony and Tina's Wedding off Broadway and back in New York, right? We would joke and they'd say, oh, they're seeing The Usual Suspects for a TV series or pilot, right? Now, totally different situation. You have an opportunity anywhere and everywhere. However, I also want to stick with something that I really believe in, be very authentic about this, that train. Do not think that there is an easy way in or out. Train as an actor, train as a director, take writing workshops, take producing workshops. I did, and I sacrificed a lot to do it. And it's something I feel so strongly about, because now with this day and age of digital era and everybody's a Snapchat star in 5 seconds, it doesn't last. And if you want to sustain, who am I? I'm nobody. Again, I joke with Katz PR and I go, I'm a humble C-list celebrity, right? But I'm blessed, and I've worked for every little thing I have, truly. And I say that again humbly, but you sacrifice and you commit, and there are consequences with your choice. Every choice you make, there's a consequence. So know that that's not a bad thing. It's good or bad. It's a result of what you put into it. So do it the right way. And when I say right way, I mean work for it. Study, train, work, study behind the scenes. If you want to be a filmmaker, guys, the best way is get on a set and help, and you'll do it for free. And you'll do it for free many times until you get to the point where you've earned your stripes and earned your keep, and you will get paid.
I love that too. And you are so humble, and you keep, being so humble. Just your humility is humbling to me, even because you are just working constantly. You are constantly putting in the work. So you really do put your money where your mouth is, because you're practicing what you're preaching. Do you feel that it makes you more of a well-rounded actress as well, having these behind-the-scenes elements, having the fact that you've written, that you've produced, that you've created your own web series, you've done all of these things? Does that help you become more fully fleshed out overall as an actor?
100%, especially with number one, it teaches me, I learn all the time when I sit behind and when we're casting and when I've done producer sessions for weeks at a time with bigger films that I produce like Sinatra Club, and I'm watching these beautiful, brilliant actresses come in, and I really want everyone to hear this. I watch these beautiful, talented actresses come in, and for whatever reason, whether they look too much like someone else who's already cast or too much like the director's ex-wife, or I mean it, I'm not kidding, I've been there, or like there is not always a rhyme or reason. So it teaches you that it's not always about the talent. You could have the wrong hair color, you're the wrong height. It's happened to me being shorter many, many times. And then the director will turn around and say, Brooke, you were brilliant in your audition. You're just not physically what we're looking for. It has taught me so much about how people come into auditions and the confidence that you need to have. It has taught me about how it's not always the person who is the most talented for the role, but sometimes now the person who may have the most followers on Instagram, sadly. There is no formula, you guys. That's why I say, yes, it has taught me so much, but that's why you have to always stay true to your heart, your soul, and your art. It is about the work, and no one will convince me otherwise.
I will say, too, though, you are very active on your social media, and you are doing it the correct way. You're using it to interact with your fans, to give amazing advice, to really inspire people, to help pump people up. How can everybody keep up with you on social media?
Thank you. So, thank you so much for saying that. And it is a lot of work. Again, I put the work in, but it's so important for it to be my voice and to share that with the fans. Brooke Lewis, LA. Actually, so it's Brooke Lewis, LA on Instagram, but now I'm using Brooke Lewis Bellis as well. Brooke Lewis, LA on Twitter, and Brooke Lewis, LA fan page on Facebook.
I love that. I'm already subscribed, but everybody else subscribe to all of them as well. Thank you so much for coming and talking with us. You're just one of my favorite people, I think.
Thank you. I agree back at you, Elena. Thank you. And I've done a lot of interviews in my career, and you are amazing. She is a professional, everyone. Seriously, blessings to you. You did your due diligence, girl.
You're amazing.
I am impressed beyond. Thank you. Thank you from my heart.
Thank you. And guys, be sure to keep up with all of our interviews here on AfterBuzz TV. Until next time, I'm Elena Jordan. Have a good night.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.